Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I'm a master manifestor, and I'm sure you are too, watching content like this. The name of this channel is Manifesting Magic the Practical Way, because there are a lot of practicalities to manifesting the lives that we choose. Put that pillow down, right? There we go. What I want to do a short message on today is something that we always have to remember. Sometimes we get in our lives where we get bogged down with our circumstances, or we get frustrated with where we are in life, depending on where you're trying to get to, right? And I always keep in mind, no matter where I am and no matter what I'm doing and no matter what I'm experiencing, that in that very moment, that very second, that very time and space and matter, I am an exact culmination of everything that I have thought, created, done, experienced so far in my life, right? So because I know that I'm a culmination of all those things, the first thing I can definitely give attention to is, so that means that I have to create more of what I want to have or what I want to experience on a regular basis in order for that culmination of things to be more pleasing to me or something that I appreciate or want more, right? And so sometimes we like to look at life in these like vacuum sections. We like to act like, if my father didn't do this, then I wouldn't have this issue. If my sister didn't do this, or if my best friend, or if my teachers didn't do this, and so we try to categorize these little areas and put everything in these little specific places. But really, nothing in our lives can be separated that way. Everything in our lives is a culmination of a whole bunch of experiences and moments and attitudes and energies that led us up to this moment right here that we actually sit in, right? And if I say, okay, this moment right here that I'm in, I'm loving it, right? Although right now I got a sick kid at home and, I got some work to do, which is, wonderful. And, I'm like sitting in the middle of the day and I'm relaxed. I don't have anything that's pressing that needs to be done. And I've had a really good breakfast, and it's an experience in life that I love to have, like these types of moments, right? So when I'm feeling good about that, I'm like, oh my God, look at this amazing life you've created. These moments where you get the exact culmination of what you want to experience at any given time, right? But then there's those other moments when we find ourselves under the gun, trying to get things done, running like a chicken with our head cut off, not being able to have moments of peace, not being able to have periods where we can just reflect and develop and evolve and do more of that personal self-care stuff. And then we get in those moments and we get frustrated. All of a sudden, we're not looking within anymore and saying, oh, look at all the culmination of everything that I've done. And then after that, that's an outward approach most of the time. Like, we're like, this is why this is a problem. Traffic is too bad. This house is wrong. This job is wrong. These children are hard-headed. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. We start putting it very outwardly focused. But I would challenge you to, when you get into those moments where it's not one of those good sweet spot days when you're just like, oh, look at this amazingness that I've created, and it's like chaos, and you're just like, oh my God, this chaos can't be mine. That's what most people do. And they're just like, it belongs there, 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 there. Try taking your power back in that situation by treating it the same way you do when you have the positive culminations or the things you want to experience, right? Try treating it like, everything that's happening right now is a culmination of everything I've done in my life, every moment, every attitude, every energy. And this is where it's at right here on the spectrum today. Now, if I'm not liking what I'm seeing in this moment, what can I do to address this? The same way that I created those beautiful moments and the times where I recognize it and I sit there in that peace and that bliss, it's the same methods that I can apply when it's chaotic and it's nonsense and I don't know why everything is falling apart or something like that, right? You start to look within and you start to think, right? Everything is a culmination. So if this culmination has brought me to this point, that means I need to create more of the things that I want to experience in order to get away from so much chaos, right? So I'm just like, and it starts with not necessarily the situation or the circumstances changing. It starts with your perspective on it. And that's all. A lot of times we think outside things have to change, outside things have to improve or get better, when really that's usually what happens second. First, what happens is our appreciation and acceptance for the moment that we're in, for the culmination that we're currently experiencing, and our gratitude for that experience, right? Because that gratitude shows us, in that moment, our gratitude is telling us, you know what? I understand that I'm a co-creator all the time, not just when it's good stuff, right? Not just when it's the stuff I want to experience. But we can't even really say the other stuff is bad stuff. It's just not as fun, because in those moments, you really start being able to articulate more clearly to the universe, articulate more clearly to yourself what it is you want to experience and what it is you don't like. Because sometimes when we don't have a really clear idea of what we do like, what we don't like is a lot more prominent. So in order to get away from that always being the case, you have to be shown what you don't like all the time. The way to combat that is just being a lot more clear on what you do want, right? But if we're not clear on what we don't want in most situations, our environment has to show us, right? Because it's a blind spot. It's like I didn't know that I hated these type of vehicles so much until I had to ride in one for like 2 weeks when I got a rental car, right? And that's just a side note, but yeah, I like sitting up higher. I drive a truck. And so I was given a car once, and it was like 4 cylinders or something. And I realized that it doesn't go anywhere when you press the gas. And so, which is fine and dandy if I've been accustomed to doing that. And so in that moment, I'm noticing like, this is not exactly what I want to experience in this moment. This is not exactly what I want to do. And the only reason why is because I'm experiencing something that's unwanted to some degree, right? And I just think it's so important to just remember that everywhere we are, everything that we're doing, everything that we're experiencing is a culmination of our thoughts, our moments, who we've been around, what we've been doing, what our on a daily basis, whether we've been in gratitude or not, whether we have been sowing positive seeds in the right direction. And it's kind of hard to remember that when those moments are not happening the way that we love, don't go without. Stay within the same way we do when the good stuff is happening. Stay within, because staying within is what's going to help us create more of the things that we want to experience, right? And you can't beat yourself up when you find yourself in one of those predicaments, because a lot of times we just don't know until we experience something that we just don't like, right? So once we do know, then we're challenged with, instead of sitting around complaining and blaming and shaming other people for participating in any part of where we don't like what we are, we have to take radical accountability, which I say all the time, and decide, you know what? I'm in charge of this too. I'm in charge of the happy stuff, and I'm in charge of the areas that I don't want to look at sometimes. Because every one of those areas are important, and it is a culmination of our lives and what we do here on earth and our experiences, right? So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And until next time, keep manifesting magic.